What's up, guys? Paramoto here again with another ride and review, this time with this beautiful 2016 Yamaha R1. So this bike here was loaned to me by the one and only Mr. Turbo S. He was nice enough to loan me a Panigale V4 to review, and he also brought along his Yamaha R1. I'm fitting to go ride this thing, but I want to talk about it just a little bit. This is a 2016 Yamaha R1. Costs about 16 grand, brand new, sticker price. That's not what gets paid out the door. It's got about 200 horsepower and about 112 pounds of torque. I hear this thing is a torquey beast. Here it rides amazing, and I'm really excited to get on it and give it a go. It's basically stock, besides for a little bit of bits and bobs like the toast exhaust. It is the 60th anniversary edition, as you can see by these beautiful fairings. It's 3 years old, and it still has almost all of the modern specs as you would expect from a beast such as this. It has 4 riding modes and an amazing color screen. That startup is amazing. It's got 4 power modes, got up and down quick shifter, and this off screen looks amazing. I feel like I'm playing Forza right now. Let's stop talking about this bike. Let's ride it, and I'll tell you what I think about it. Whew, wow, this thing sounds amazing. This thing sounds like an 8-cylinder race car, is what it sounds like. What's up, guys? Paramoto here. Welcome to my first ride of a Yamaha R1. This is a 2016 Yamaha R1. So this bike is from Mr. Turbo S. He is gracious enough to allow me to do a little ride and review of his beautiful 2016 R1. The 2016 R1 is the second year of the redesign from the Googly Eyes version, which honestly I kind of liked. It was kind of endearing to me, but I like this design better. This bike's a little bit like a Panigale. It kind of feels a little bit clunky until you get up to speed, and then everything smooths out. My first thoughts and opinions on riding with this bike is that it's everything that I thought riding a 1000cc bike would be before I ever rode a 1000cc bike. So this bike feels a little bit heavy, it feels a little bit wide, and it kind of feels a little bit tall. And that's probably because since it feels a little bit wider, your feet are a little bit further off the ground because your legs are a little bit more apart. Giggity. That's probably why it feels a little bit taller. But once you sit on this bike, it doesn't really feel like you're sitting on a motorcycle in general. It kind of feels like you're sitting in a machine, because I kind of feel like you're down in a little bit, you're a little bit further leaned over. You know, it feels like you're sitting in it rather than on it, which is not a bad feeling. It's kind of cool. My first thoughts is that honestly this bike would be an amazing track bike. It has a full color screen, and it just about has everything that you would want out of on a Superbike. And it's, you know, it's a few years old, so it doesn't have the latest and greatest, but it has all the electronics that you would probably ever want out of a Superbike. So tech nerds covered on that end of things. My personal opinion, the best exhaust you can put on a sport bike is a toast exhaust, and this bike has got it. This bike has got a toast exhaust that it sounds so good. It's also really loud, and it's kind of blowing out my eardrum. I feel like if you were riding this bike for a long period, you would definitely need some earplugs. I don't have any headphones in like I normally have. That might make it a little bit better. I just wanted to have full respect for somebody else's motorcycle and have 100% attention based on, you know, riding the motorcycle and also talking to you guys. So So I get a lot of comments on motorcycles about like, hey, do you think I can start on this bike? Do you think I can start on that bike? You know, is it a good idea to start on a 959 Panigale? My typical answer to that would have been no. It honestly is typically no. I don't think a leader bike is appropriate for new riders. I've been proven wrong. There's a gentleman called Life40 that I've referenced many times when I talk about this, who started on a Panigale Corsa edition, started on a 959 Corsa edition, and he did just fine. There are exceptions to the rules. This bike, I would really suggest that you did not start on. The reason why is that it has almost every feature that I honestly consider something that would be hard for a new rider to overcome. It feels wider, making the bike feel bigger, which is intimidating. It also kind of pushes your legs apart, which means you can't put a lot of your foot on the ground. You are on your tiptoes like a ballerina when you're using this bike, and we all know that slow maneuvers are really what get people when they first start riding. The slow maneuvers are the hardest part of being a new rider. It's where a lot of people drop their bikes. This bike would not be good for a new rider because of that. It would be a lot of slow maneuvers on your tippy toes, and I just don't think it would work out very well. It also is very jumpy. The throttle is a bit jumpy, to be honest with you. Like, it almost feels kind of like an on-off switch. Like you're either getting nothing or you're getting a lot. I don't think it would be great for a new rider. Like, it kind of, you know, you give it gas and it kind of punches you, you know? Which makes, like, me as an experienced rider, you know, and I'm no street Rossi, I don't have a ton of experience, you know, I will admit my limits. One thing that it does, it kind of makes me scared to give it gas in corners, to be honest with you. But this could all be just because it's not my bike. This is my first time riding it. I've ridden it for probably about 5 miles now, and I don't really know a ton about it. When you rock it side to side like I like to do, you can kind of feel some of that extra weight, some of that girth, if you will. It doesn't feel as ready to turn over as like a Panigale V4 or my 959. It feels like if you were gonna need to really get this bike over on the side, you're gonna have to work for it. Honestly, you should have a lot of experience riding before you step up to a beast like this. So if you were thinking about getting a Yamaha R1, you should have experience, so you should be able to mitigate all of these problems. I just don't think it would be good for somebody with an intermediate level of experience. It's a little jumpy, but other than that, it's a really fun bike to ride. It sounds like a monster, to be honest with you. This thing just has the best exhaust note I've probably ever heard on a Japanese bike. My vote for the best sounding Japanese bike goes to the Yamaha R1. Hands down. You can tell this bike wants to go fast. You can tell this thing was designed to go fast. It's kind of just like pushing you. You're like, yeah, you definitely want to give me more throttle. The suspension is very stiff. When you hit a bump, you feel it, but that's really the way that a super sport should be. A super bike really should be. It's meant to stay planted on a track. So that's what this thing's gonna do. It's gonna help you stay planted on a track. Man, this thing knows how to get quick. This thing knows how to get quick. I'll tell you that much. This is not a toy. I can definitely see how a very experienced rider could take this thing and turn it into a weapon. Just an absolute weapon. This thing it feels just like a gritty, it's just low down and gritty, and it's only for one purpose. This thing fits one purpose, and that's to go really fast. It's the only purpose that this bike has is to go really fast. Tell you what, Yamaha did a fantastic job. Just a fantastic job with this bike. Man, after riding this bike, I feel like I can become a Valentino Rossi fan really quick. Oh, it is very good at fucking nut taps, I'll tell you that. My honest opinion of this motorcycle is that it's probably not best suited to be like a daily driven super bike. It's so raw. The bike is just so raw. It doesn't feel like it would make your life super easy if you chose this to be an everyday driver. But if you were just like, yeah, like if you were somebody like me that kind of just like, you know, on your off day, your motorcycle is kind of like your off day daily driver, and you just like, you wanted a bike that could go fast, and like, you know, you're going to the grocery store and you want something that can get you there like super quick, or you know, you go to work and like this is your stress relief, is going really fast on the way to and from work, then I think this bike would suit you very well. Keep in mind that it's really, really raw. Keep in mind that the suspension is very stiff and you're gonna feel every single bump. Keep in mind that the throttle is kind of jerky and you're way bent over on this bike. Man, but that sound though. Man, if a bike could speak to you, you know, like if a motorcycle could speak. Yeah, I think I like this bike. I think I like this bike. It definitely demands some respect though from its rider. It's definitely gonna need some skill to be ridden successfully, but I do enjoy this motorcycle. I don't know what I like more about this bike, either the sound, the looks, or just the raw power. This bike has so much power and top-notch electronics and amazing looks that this is something else. This is really something else. Getting a little bit more comfortable after spending probably about 10-15 miles on it or so. Comfortable enough to put one hand on the handlebars and just kind of just lean back a little bit and just relax and have some fun. The throttle is very, very touchy at times, so it's like with a little bit of finesse, it's starting to become a little bit easier to handle. I don't know why I've been cursed with always having minivans in front of me while I'm on amazing machines, but that's apparently the thing. My final thoughts and opinions on the Yamaha R1 is that this is a bike that you have to ride once in your lifetime. You just have to. Like, this bike is just amazing. The feeling of the raw power that exudes from this motorcycle is second to none. It really is. I feel like I'm on the edge of my seat riding this thing. It is exciting. But guys, if you like this video, there's more down below. Please like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Deuces.